Check one, two. Hello. This is just a quick filler. When I upload this, I'm probably like moving, and I don't have any internet connection, and I can't play. I don't even have my computer set up, so you have to deal with this, and that's how it's gonna be for like a couple, maybe a month before I get back to it. But you know, it's how it is. That's how life is. Anyways. I made a Warpaint Collection, as you may have seen. If you have not, please check it out. I mean, the thing is, right? I mean, upvotes doesn't matter, really. It's just, I like, give me your opinions on it. Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? You know, give me some thoughts, right? Anyways, like, I want to discuss the Warpaints I've made, because I feel like, I mean, I just want to talk about Warpaints. That's just what I want to talk about, and talk about the collection in general and what inspired me to make them. So if you are a upcoming Warpaint creator, you should, I don't know, listen. Not really. I mean, why do you listen to me? I just make Warpaints. Anyway, let's get to the list, I guess, of what I made. Yeah. So, bad land driven, alright? This Warpaint is the elite grade Warpaint that I made for this case, because I think it looks sick with the albedo tint. Uses the park pigmented as a base. So basically where I got the color scheme from, I basically walked around on maps and tried to look for like a good color theme, and I found this truck on like the second point. Maybe, is it the second? No, I think the third point on pier. There's this brown orange gray truck on the third point where it just stands there, and I feel like it looks really good, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that color scheme to create my warpaints, and so I did. Sadly, I couldn't make like the like embedded lines that it has, because it looks really wrong, right? Like lines on a warpaint, it looks so odd, especially when you don't have them, you know, symmetrical. Like, you know, repeat after another, like the coffin nails, it's gonna look really odd. So I had to go with metal plates, because it just works. And I feel like it turned out great. In anywhere, in any, you know, seed, it looks amazing, in my opinion. So, yeah, and it was just really fun. And I feel like it may look odd on the blue team, but, you know, it's mostly neutral colors. Black and brown, and you know, well, brown is more leaning towards the red side. Whatever. I was really proud of it. I myself really want it. I want to wear it in game. God, it was so cool. Next Warpaint on the list is Power Drilled. Basically, I mean, this is just your standard drill that you have or can find on the net. It's just orange, simply. I mean, it's just, I use metal plates to drive for the texture, and I made, like, the hazard stripes, you know, that for some reason are rotation locked on some weapons. I'm using the Saxvax, the Warpaint base. The first leather texture, it's rotations locked on some weapons, like the Scattergun, Minigun, and Rocket Launcher, but on some weapons, it just isn't. For some reason, I find that really odd and looks really disgusting. It should be rotation locked on the shotgun, I believe. It should be, but it is not. And you have this golden wire and, well, golden, like, bolts, I guess. Like, these little details that you can find on it. And you have this black mat or rubber, whatever you want to call it, on, like, the grips and whatnot. So, yeah. And, of course, you can't really forget the drill part of it. It's on like you can especially see it on minigun, and I really like it on the grenade launcher and the stick bomb launcher. It looks really neat. I don't know, and people said that I'm gonna make that I should make like a blue version of it, because it's heavily leaning towards the red side, which I get. So I'm gonna like work on a blue version. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure out a way. So, I mean, I don't really have to worry, because it's my warpaints are never gonna get in the game. So, you know, maybe another time. Cozy Grove. For the longest time, I've wanted to create like a warpaint that gets more mossy over time, like in higher wares, that is. And firstly, I wanted to make like I wanted it to make it stone-ish, but I feel like it would be really odd to have gray and then just brown and, you know, green. I would feel like it wouldn't contrast that well. So I made it out of wood instead. Of course, yeah, me being the funny guy, I used wood, brown, black colors, yay! And I used that and it turned out really great. And also, just for your information, the moss that I use is from the in-game files. Yes, I know, I'm a dick, but oh my god, I mean, can I really create a texture that's more... I mean, how am I supposed to create a grass texture, really? that's like on par with TF2's, like I can't. And again, it's just a customware, you know? But, you know, I mean, it looks good. Looks really good, and I mean, in my opinion. But people seem to like this one a lot. At first, it was one warpaint. It wasn't team colored. But then when I was doing promos, I actually had to go in and make a blue version because I feel like this looks out of place on the blue team. So I went in, I think the final day, maybe, I made a blue version because, as I've said, it looks odd on the blue team. So I made a blue version really quick. And it turned out really great. The colors look great. I really like it. Really glad how it came out. And thankfully it's just a merc grade in my opinion, because, you know, it's not really that flashy, but it's neat, right? Sophisticated Menace. This is the neutral version of the formal hero warpaint that we're gonna come to later. It was originally a merc grade based off the simplicity, but due to Arthur, another workshop creator, and my friend coming in to be like, hey, I want to give this a little bit of touching, because at that time, this play texture is, again, from the in-game files, because it just looks good. It looks really good, and I want to see more of it in the game. Of course, I can't just go and nab it and just be like, okay, there we go. I adjusted some of the... I adjusted the texture a bit, with the contrast, with the colors, you know, and everything else. And Arthur came in and did some of the details. He made some... details. He made a pocket... which is I find really cute, and I don't know what to call it, but it's like a brand name tag sort of thing, maybe. I find that really funny, and he upgraded the sticker. He made it a little bit more busy, in my opinion, but I think it goes well. I mean, it's something different, you know. It's, you know. And as a funny little part, I added a crown sticker on the grenade launcher, if you haven't seen it yet, but it's there for you to see, and it's always there. And while I'm here about stickers, the sticker on the warpaint, it isn't consistent. You can get one without the sticker, and you can get one with the sticker. And another funny part is that there is this rare copper pattern that I've added in. It's not very flashy. It's just there for just copper, you know. And it goes really well. And some people like it, and some people may not. But again, it's just a funny gimmick that I threw in, because why not? Formal hero. So this is the warpaint that we're gonna talk about, lol. But basically, this is the first time I made a play texture to begin with. The first one ever, actually. And you can probably see it, but I think it came out great. I like the colors of it. I think it just fits the game really nicely. The colors, you know, everything. It gets really blurry on the world model, which I find really, you know, it's very, I find it sad, but, you know, that's how TF2 textures work, man, especially on weapons. And this is also the warpaint that I made, a leather texture for, and dear God, it was hard finding a good base for this warpaint. I'm using saccharine striped. That's why there are so many few promos of it, in-game promos, because I could just not afford a factory new one or a minimal wear one, because again, saccharine striped are so expensive. But I feel it's a very classy warpaint, and it took me days to find a good base for it and create the textures. I had to upscale them, I had to do some tweak. Oh god, it was just but work well worth it. I want it to have a custom wear. I want it to wear down to a leather, sort of leather, similar to the country crusher scattering, I think it's called, where when it wears down, the leather wears down as well, which looks really, really cool. I find that a really cool detail. That's one of the nitpicks I have with that warpaint. But again, warpaint bases, you're at the mercy of them. Nostal, or Nostal, if you're English and gonna call it, but Nostal is basically a warpaint based off Swedish houses, and I feel it's a good way to represent a team-colored warpaint. But I think it came out nice, and people seem to enjoy it, and I think that's a really neat thing. You know, I like it as well, and I like the name of it, and I don't think Nostal is actually like a real name somewhere in the Scandinavia, so that's my name now. I trademarked it. Now, Rustic Runic is a funny warpaint in my opinion. Basically, I got into Deep Rock Galactic at that time.
That's the stuff. The fuck?
I was appreciating the art style that it has, and I found this interesting pattern that just a regular boss had, like on the platform. It had like one of these patterns, and I really found it really cool. So I wanted to like do something like that in TF2. Of course, I don't want to base another art style from another game and take it into TF2. I made it like a simple pattern in a Fong map texture. Basically, you don't see the pattern, but in the Fong map, the texture is right there. I can show you the Fong map. The lighter parts of the warpaint will reflect. So you will see that pattern being reflected when you're inspecting the weapon, which I find really cool. But normally, if you're looking at it as how it is, it's just a brown, warm warpaint that looks very rusty and steampunky. And I feel like we're missing a bunch of steampunky warpaints in the game, except for like the closest one that we're having, maybe Swashbuckle. But again, we wish we had more, man. And again, this one comes with a gradient. And a bright orange gradient, because orange is nice. I like orange. Forged Fire was pretty much made up on accident, but I wanted to go for this like futuristic style of a warpaint, and I think it came out quite well. It's a bit bland. I think I need to tweak the colors a bit more. But I saw this warpaint is inspired by a thing called like vintage 1960s jet desks. I can put up a picture and you can see like what I'm getting at. But these desks are like, they're really funky, as one could say. I don't know. I wanted to go off a style like that, and I feel like we need some kind of futuristic not futuristic, like some sort of white warpaint. You know. Again, I'm not super proud of that one. I mean, it looks good, but I feel like it's another version of Park Pigmented. Bricklayered is a really common warpaint because, again, bricks. Every map is made out of bricks. So it would make sense to have mercs wearing bricks. But it's not like these boring brown bricks. I wanted to go like for the lighter version. You know, something like, well, basically it goes from, I don't want any colors involved. I just want gray, white, and black. It's just some simple colors that you can get along with, you know? And I think it came out quite well. I really like it on a rock launcher. It looks really cool. And on the panic attack and then higher wares, it looks really good because the bricks are light enough that it contrasts really well with the higher wares that, you know, the higher wares that the gun reveals underneath. I really like that. And I hope some people do too. And I mean, yeah, it's just a boring brick warpaint, but again, just a merc grade, in my opinion. Hardware construct. So basically, I went around on maps trying to get some inspiration. And I went to PL Snowy Coast. And I saw these trucks and these metal panels or plates that make up the buildings. And I thought like, hey, this could make like a really cool warpaint. It took me like a day to make the textures for the, get the textures right, I guess, for the paint. And then I implemented like a simple yellow that's very, very reflective, because I feel like it's gonna be like very plasticky. It's not like finished. I feel like it's very new. You know, new fucking... Basically, you're wearing a construction site warpaint, kind of. What inspired me for making the sticker? I mean, it's just vent. It's just a vent. You know, like every single other warpaint. I don't remember which warpaint it is called, but I know that, you know, I'm not the first one to make the vent kind of sticker, but, you know, oh well. I'm really proud of how it came out. I really like this one. It's like probably one of my favorite ones that I made. One of them. Warfield is a warpaint that I feel like we need more of, like this war-themed warpaints, you know? Similar to the Warpaint Collection that we got back in 2015 in the Tough Break update, where we got like the Warhawk rocket launcher, Warhawk flamethrower, grenade launcher, you know, one of these skins, but except I made it very, very simple. It uses the Sunriser base and it's rotation locked, and I wanted to have like this thrown together sort of makeshift gun that had the metal has been spray painted and just thrown on some random stickers, you know, war themed stickers, and they have this mossy dried up wood to like make up like the handle of the guns, you know, very dry mossy wood. I think that looks really, really good, contrasting with the gray metal, which works well, and I really like how it came out, and it looks good on most weapons. On a scattergun, looks awful, I hate it, but on rocket launcher and on the grenade launcher, it looks really, really dope, and especially on the sniper rifle, I really like how this came out, and it was like the last warpaint that I ever made for this collection, that is. And then we have Cacti Faced, which is kind of funny how it came to, like, how I made it, because originally I wanted to go for this like 70s 60s home funky look with his wallpapers and stuff. But however, when I reached out for some criticism, like how it looks, people said it looked like a cactus. So I was like, wait, it kind of does actually. So I kept with that theme and I added some prickles onto it, and I added like a pink flower for some spice, and I think it came out really great. It could have some tweaking, but you know, in the Badlands, you'd expect to see a cactus. And but on the Fang map, it has this played sort of texture, so the mercs might want you to think that it's a cactus, but it's not. So, yeah. I don't know. People call it the Shrek Warpaint, and to be honest, I think that's quite funny. Just having a Shrek Warpaint in the game. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad to have it. But yeah, that's like my collection, the Junkyard collection. I'm really proud of it, and it was created in the love for Pamp. Because if you don't know, Pamp is basically the master of warpaints, and he has never got one added into the game, which I find really, I mean, it upsets even me, because Valve has so many good options on their workshop, but however, they seem to choose the worst ones possible, in my opinion. Of course, not the worst one. Like, again, I opened 50 of those warpaint cases because they're not bad. It's just like, they're really unfinished. One of them, Bonzo, it's fucking, it looks hideous. But most of them are just, really, yeah, they're, oh my god. And on the last video, I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, but on the last iTalk video, people pointed out that most of my points were invalid because I talked about how I hate Valve and I open cases. Again, I'm an idiot. Okay. But yeah, that wasn't like the smartest move, but you get the idea. Like, I want to open 50 of these hat cases and 50 of the warping cases. That's what I wanted to do, and I think that was a good filler because, hey, people like watching people unbox, you know? And again, I love this game to death. That's why I made this collection, because one, I love the game, I love Pamp, and I love the art style of the game. That's why most of these warpaints are just gray and brown, because it's just fits. That's TF2 in my opinion. That's like, that's what the world is. It's very pastel-y. It's in the Badlands, you know. It's very brown, very, very brown and dirty, and I don't know. Of course, you can make exceptions and make really bright warpaints, you know, flashy warpaints. Like, I can get that, why people want them, but I think they should be the exception and not the norm that we have right now. But again, it's just my opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. You know, it's just, we're all people trying to get by, and I'm really, really tired of this whole workshop argue thingy, because Valve doesn't seem to uphold themselves to their standards, so we tried to talk us through to the workshop creators. However, some of them listened, some of them didn't, and you know, in the end of the day, it's fine. You know, we have good hats. It was fun while it lasted, you know. It's sad that the workshop creators, just create bad hats just for a bit of pocket money that they can spend. It's just really sad and disappointing to see, but oh well, that's how it is. And people don't really seem to care about the hats. It's like, oh, another bad warpaint case. Oh well, time to play the game. Again, warpaints is my specialty, not hats, because I don't create hats. But yeah, if I pissed you off in some way, shape, or form with what I've said in the past or whatever, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. But also, I really stand with what I stick. What the fuck did I say? I stand with what I say. Like, I hate how this game is being treated. But oh well. Oh well, but thanks for watching. You know, thanks for listening to my dumb rant about my warpaints. I hope you liked some of them. I'm probably gonna shove up some some inspect animations of my other works, I guess. I don't know. If you, I mean, again, if you like them, go upload them, say them why you like them, you say why you know, say what you need to say. But in general, upvotes, they don't mean anything in the end. Valve picks what they want to pick. Oh, well, it doesn't seem like they pick, they throw an AI into the mix and something. I don't know with how they pick items. It's just so random, but oh well. Yeah, I hope you have a good one, and thanks for watching. And I hope I'll be back soon. So, bye-bye.